why I got technical with the word, you know, because this is a technical thing. Because from my understanding, if he or any one of them were to downright apologize, a clear apology, it would put more pressure on them as far as paying up for reparation and compensation.
Blessed love, family, give
Because number one,
thanks.
they've admitted, well, to
For
me,
the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. I pray that all is well with you and yours. Just listening to a previous night's broadcast, really, of The Tiger's Nest. Of course, right here on Radio Anu. You know, we rebroadcast it in the uprising the day after. So for sure, if you missed The Tiger's Nest, you could get it the next morning, approximately 7 a.m. But for sure, you can definitely tune into The Tiger's Nest tonight. I'm talking about tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, and we'll definitely carry you to another level. That should be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. I pray that all is well with you, my family. We're going to have a quick, wonderful discussion here. I want to talk about Moses and Hathor. You know, this is something I want us to kind of unravel. Did Moses really get the commandments from the temple of Hathor? Or is the temple of Hathor the temple where the Israelites were worshiping when Moses came down off of the hill, Mount Sinai? And you may be saying, now, what kind of puzzle is this? Where did you get this idea from? Don't worry, I will take you there right now. But before I go there, of course, you know, I have to remind you of the new developments here at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. You know, definitely, as I said, we have added to the arsenal of the International Home School program. We have definitely recently added, not biology, I know you know of the biology program, but we have recently added a language arts, English language arts specifically. And I always have to chuckle when I say that because, you know, it's the psychology of the world. You know, theology school is Bible school. Can you imagine that? That's not theology school. No, theology school is where you go and learn about theology. Bible and Christianity is not theology. It may be one aspect of theology, which is a great, vast ocean. Same thing with language arts. When you say language arts, it's usually English they're talking about. But it's just to show you how psychologically they trap you, that you think now like English is the language arts. Well, why not Swahili? Why not Akan? But somehow English is language arts. But anyway, that's another discussion for another time. And we've discussed that, haven't we? Especially on the Tiger's Nest. But for sure, family, we are now offering language arts along with the International Homeschool African Heritage and Astronomy and Biology. But keep in mind that the language arts now is catering for preschoolers up to seniors. So it's not just from K to third grade and thereabouts, but up to the seniors. And remember for sure, once you are already a part of the International Homeschool program, no matter what aspect of the program you are on, you will definitely, you could enroll for the language arts totally free. Totally free. And the difference with the language arts is that it's fully virtual. So it's not a case of sending you your daily classes via the email, but it is fully virtual. And these classes will be facilitated by the Honorable Empress Naya, of course, as you know, alumni of Howard University, and has her bachelor degrees specifically in language arts, specifically English language arts for sure, and also her master's in African American history. But of course, we are directly dealing with language arts or the English. So for sure, parents, your young ones, you know how it is. That's one of their main requirements: English and maths. They don't require no astronomy. No, they definitely don't require no African history to get nowhere in their so-called world. But according to them, you need to have your English. So if your young one needs to step up on their English and their language arts, for sure, just contact us. Very, very important. You don't know, email us, Priest Isaac Institute, pardon me, at gmail.com, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, definitely, and we'll give you more information at the end of the program. I will also give you the WhatsApp number where you could definitely call and even reason with us concerning enrolling your young ones or yourself, really, into the international homeschool classes. And remember, it is totally free. I'm talking about the language arts, totally free, specifically once you are already part of the program or even previously a part of the program. So it's all about sharing love, my family. It's all about, giving back and giving in general, whether we giving back or we just giving. It's all about the giving. Now, what I wanted to highlight here, and this is not just a play on words or playing with the subject area. Now, you know that the book I wrote, The True Biblical Land of Israel, you know that book makes it clear that the land of Israel is Africa plus Arabia, and just shows you that the whole narrative that has been given to us is totally conscrewed. All right, fair enough. But this discussion here, I want to take it along the line that the whole world has accepted. Moses was born in Egypt, Kemet, and grew up in the house of Ramesses II. That's what happened, right? Yeah, most of you believe that still because you don't follow what I say. So you believe that, and he split the Red Sea into, well, at least if you follow the Moses philosophy, went up to Mount Sinai, got the 10 Commandments and the full works, went into the wilderness for 40 years, and then they ended up in Canaan. What I'm saying, family, is this. You know the story. When Moses went up into the mountain for a while, getting the commandments from God, when he came down, in fact, before he came down, Joshua had to come and say, hey, something going on down there. There's this rumbling in the camp. And he said, yeah. And when Moses came down with Joshua, he said that he saw them worshiping a golden calf. Now, the golden calf, now remember, they're coming out of Egypt, right? And Moses was known in all the wisdom of Egypt. Now, technically, during the time of Moses, and we're going to prove this, during the time of Moses, when they were in Mount Sinai, already crossing the Red Sea, and they were in Mount Sinai, they were technically still in Egypt. In fact, Israel, Canaan, the place called Palestine today, all of that was actually Egypt, during the time frame that we're given that Moses left Egypt and went. Well, he himself didn't enter the promised land, but even when Joshua and Caleb and all these ones entered the promised land, all of that, technically, if we're going to use the date and timeline given to us, plus real accurate history, all of that was Egypt. These were provinces of Kemet. And I'm going to prove that right now. So in a sense, they couldn't believe in that Egypt and going to a place that was run by Egypt, technically. Good. But anyway, the real point here that we're looking at is that when he came down off of the mountains with the commandments, he saw the Israelites worshiping the golden calf. So many ones would say that, hey, that's Hathor. That is the calf of Kemet, the great mother, Heru, and Aaron and all of these ones, because they didn't see Moses, I guess, reverted to worshiping the calf. And again, they say Moshe or Moses or Musa, he himself was well versed in the knowledge of Egypt. Fair enough. Good. Now let us look at this realistically. One of the perceptions here is that Mr. Moses himself got with no disrespect, got the commandments from the laws of Ma'at, the 42 divine principles of Ma'at. Some say the 120 something negative confessions. So ones were taken from ones were taken from ones were taken from ones, and come down with 10 principles or 10 commandments. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with extracting something from a greater set of principles. Good. So they say that Moses extracted these principles from Ma'at. Why did you come to that conclusion? Well, again, Moses was learned in all the ways of Egypt, according to the Bible, okay? And he grew up in the house of Pharaoh, if you understand. That's what happened to Moses, I'm sure we all know the story. Moses grew up in the house of the king of Egypt. Basically, even the way that they would portray it is that he and the future king of Egypt would have been buddies, literally like brothers growing up in the same house, as if Ramesses Ramesu. Mesu and Moses, Moses and Mesu, Mesu and Tutmos, all of them is Moses, you know, technically. So anybody, Ramesu is supposed to be the terrible Pharaoh that was running Moses through the Red Sea, that got drowned in the Red Sea with his whole chariots and everything. And of course, we have debunked that, I think, clearly. Ramesu, I mean, you can go and see his body. And, you know, I mean, clear. The Ramesu have a whole temple for all his 50 sons. His 50 sons, remember the Bible said that Ramesses and his firstborn died. His firstborn died. So between the time his firstborn died and he ran Moses through the Red Sea, he managed to make 49 other sons and 100 and something daughters. And that's reality. That's his history. What's reality? I don't mean between the time that his firstborn died and he ran Moses through the Red Sea, or Moses went through the Red Sea and he got drowned in the Red Sea. I'm just trying to show you that that narrative is not aligned with the history that we know as it relates to Kemet or Ramesses. That's why some people tell you Ramesses is really the Moses. Some people tell you Akhenaten is really the Moses. So people are trying to figure out what the real historical timeline behind the story written in the Bible, because the movie that was done with Elizabeth Taylor, and no, that's Cleopatra, the Charleston Heston and the other fellow there, Moses and the King of Pharaoh, that has left stains in the mind of people. Yeah, man, when you watch that movie there and God talking to Moses, come forward, and you be talking in the house, your mother, hey, hush your mouth. Y'all don't hear God is speaking? What? Yeah, real thing. So that's to show you how stained we are, you know. Yeah, man. That's why even when the king come with Haile Selassie with a simple voice, people say, that man is God. Look how the man voice so quiet. I've heard people say that. Because you expect God to have this big voice, and the mountain shake and all of that. See, perception. Good. And we a lot of that has stayed in our mind. Good. So I'm just saying now, looking at this from its historical perspective. All of that was just to get you ready now. This is the temple of Hathor. And this temple of Hathor is located in the same region where Moses got the commandments. What's interesting, this temple was built in the 12th dynasty. This temple, remember, Ramesses is in the 19th dynasty. So if the Moses story is connected to King Ramesses, that would have been several hundred years after the building of this temple. So in reality, when Moses and the crew was coming to Sinai, they would have passed this temple, the temple of Hathor. I'm not making this up. And at the temple at Hathor in Sinai, you could check it for yourself. In fact, let me give you some quick information here. This one is coming from beathathor.cultnet.org. And it says here, and you can check here, go through some more information yourself. The temple of Hathor, the temple of Serabit el-Kardim, is one of the most impressive temples in ancient Egypt, as it represents the largest and most important Egyptian temple in the Sinai Peninsula. It is the oldest example of a partially rocked out Egyptian temple. The sanctuary at the Serabit is the largest sanctuary left by a group of miners in all Egypt. Kemet. This temple, actually located on the mountains of Serabit el-Kardim, was built at the height of approximately 850 meters above sea level. Now, what I'm saying here is that this is underneath the Mount Sinai itself. It's in the Sinai region, but that's where the story took place, even in the scripture, is in the Sinai area, Sinai Peninsula itself. Good. So with this understanding, and you follow through, you see all the inscriptions here, Moses and the Israelites would have definitely come across this temple because it was there before him. And he would have left them at the bottom of the hill, and he would have gone up to the mountain, and he would have received the commandments. And when coming down from the mountain, he caught them worshiping a calf. Now, Hathor is not necessarily a calf. Hathor represents a cow. You know, a calf is not necessarily a young cow. It could be a young bull. You understand? All of that could be even the bull himself, the Apis bull. In ancient Kemet, you have the Apis bull. That's in Kemet. Ra is seen as the bull, the Apis bull. Now, what I'm saying here, and even canoe. Canoe itself is similar to the African buffalo, some say the wildebeest. But now I am saying that all the years you've heard the story, even the same movie, they have a golden cow there. And Moses threw the commandments, I think it break it on the cow and mash up the cow and throw it was a golden calf, throw it in the water and have them drink the water and all sorts of things. Okay, good. But now historically, where Moses was to have got those 10 commandments, below the 10 commandments is really a temple of Hathor. So what, did the Israelites go to the temple of Hathor? Because remember, the Bible story is vague, you know, and the movie gonna stay in your mind. So you just see the people that have this golden calf on top of a little altar or something, and they're dancing around it with timbrels and having a grand time. Or was it an already established running temple of Hathor that many of the congregants decided to become initiated in because Mr. Moses has gone far long away and we're not seeing him again? I'm just kind of putting something for you to consider, especially if you believe Moses went up into that Mount Sinai, specifically got the commandments and came down and met his people worshiping a cow, of which many ones would say that cow is Hathor. Okay, fair enough. But there's actually a temple of Hathor at the bottom of the hill. Maybe not just at the bottom, but in the region, there's actually a temple of Hathor there. That's interesting. An established temple. It wasn't built after Moses. It was there before, which also brings us to the other point now. In the same vein where we would say Moses would have received the understanding and the knowledge from Kemet. That's the university he grew up in. He grew up in the University of Ancient Egypt, according to what we are to believe. So it is not a strange, thought that the laws of Ma'at, which are very similar for real to the commandments, would have been a pre-knowledge to him in convert, because Moses is God and God is Moses. It's not just no voice out of the cloud talking to the man. It's the God within and the intuition, pardon me, inside of him that is coming out. So it's not just Ma'at he would have studied. He would have studied Hathor too. He would have studied whatever great knowledge there was to study. He would have studied alchemy. He would, I'm sure you have read, some of you, the 5th, 6th, and 7th books of Moses. He would have definitely studied medicinal, understanding the medicinal craft of Imhotep. He would have studied all of that because he was versed in all the knowledge of Egypt. So who is not to say that he would have studied the craft of Hathor, which is similar to, it is the same Ma'at, sometimes the same goddess is seen in different forms. Hathor would be seen as Ma'at and Isis as Hathor and these different things. It's well understood, so it is really one principle. And this is what, this is what understanding, knowledge, and wisdom is all about, and critical thinking. So those of us who are researchers, this is how you unravel the mysteries. You look into things and you contemplate it. Okay, there's actually a temple of Hathor not far from the site where Moses spoke to the Lord. And he came down and meet them worshiping the calf, of which he was not too pleased, according to how the story is written. And of course, you have to consider many things, especially when you look at it in its esoteric levels, in its understanding on that heights. But whatever the case is, give thanks to the royal goddess Hathor. I'm talking about the ancient Het Heru, that is the real name. Het Heru, which means the house of Heru, which she is symbolic as of the nourisher. Even the same Moses spoke about, did I give these people birth? Did I bear them upon upon my breast. That's Moses, when he was, one of the times when he was kind of frustrated over Israel. He spoke in that feminine level. If he bore them on his breast and give them suck. So that's the nature of Hathor. As you could see her breasts out, as she is the one that gives suck and nurtures the king. That's why sometimes you see her again as the full great cow, and the king's under her, getting the nutrients specifically from her. We're talking about the great Hathor, the great Hathor. So give thanks. I said I would just give you that piece of wisdom there and understanding. Glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, King Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. I really hope it's fully appreciated. Definitely, family, here is a number that you could definitely contact the Institute. You could call our WhatsApp specifically. This is pure Institute business. Let me make this clear. Pure Institute business, specifically area code 1268-728-8289. That's 728-8289. WhatsApp or call, and you could get more information on the English or language art classes that are now available, as I said, my family. And of course, again, if you are already, in tune with the international homeschool program, the language arts are totally, totally free. I know it's something, so everyone that's already on the homeschool program should be a part of it, because I know it's something that's, it's required in the school system. And I know you as parents would definitely want your young ones to be as efficient as they can be, or proficient, if that's the right terms. Yeah, I need some language arts myself, but to be the best they can be in that subject area, because that's what the system requires, and I know you really want the best from them. So we are offering that, and that is at no charge if you are a part of the program. And even if you're not a part of the program, still contact us, because it's extremely economical. The whole program itself is extremely economical, and more. And what else we are adding, as you could see, family, we are certified in what we present to you. As you know, I am a certified, as well, certified specifically in the field of ARCHAEOASTRONOMY, and that goes with astronomy, while I'm still doing a course on astronomy itself, not ARCHAEOASTRONOMY now, astronomy. I am specifically doing a course on that even as we speak. So, giving thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life, the Black Christ in flesh. Give thanks for your presence with us. Looking forward for you joining us this evening in the Tiger's Nest. You don't know what time it is, 7 p.m. sharp Eastern Caribbean time, which is specifically the same as 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Radio Anu, you don't have to wait till then. Check us on Radio Anu now. Just scroll down. And if you've never, let me give you a challenge. If you never tune into Radio Anu, just give it a listen now. Give it 5 minutes and see if you like it. I'm sure you would never move again. Hey, family, love you, man. Give thanks. We continue to celebrate the earth strand of the mother of creation, man. Heart. And I'm telling you, it's a joy, just to come and express and to feel the love from all ones who express the love to I. I really, really appreciate of it, Give thanks, man. We're working for the redemption of our people. That's what it is. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Blessed love.